we're going to talk about fractions. So, what do you think that fractions are? What would you describe them as?
Pieces. Parts.
Pieces? Parts of what?
A whole.
A whole? Okay. So this is your whole right here. Okay? Pretend that this is a whole orange. So then if you cut it, then what do you have?
Two.
Two what?
Halves.
Two halves. Okay. So this is one half. And then if you cut this again, then what do you have?
Quarter.
A quarter, which is also what?
1/4.
Okay. So, in a whole orange, how many fourths are there?
4.
4. Okay. No. So, improper fractions. What is an improper fraction? Do you know? Okay. An improper fraction is something such as, here, I'll show you one here. 8 halves, where the numerator, the top number, is bigger than the denominator, the bottom number.
Oh.
So instead of being parts of a whole, you have more parts than one whole. Okay, so say your whole orange, do you remember how many fourths was that?
4.
4 fourths. So if you wanted to show 7 fourths, you'd use one whole orange, and then how many other pieces?
3.
So 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this would be 7 fourths of an orange. Okay. So, mixed numbers. Do you know what is a mixed number? Okay, a mixed number is another way to represent an improper fraction. So 9/3 would be an improper fraction, but a mixed number is a whole number such as 2 and 3/4. So if you were to go back to the 7 fourths that we had, you have 4 fourths and 7 fourths. So this would be your 1, and then what would be your fraction?
3.
3 fourths. So this as a mixed number would be 1 and 3/4 instead of 7 fourths. Another way you can look at it is with things like these rectangles. So say you wanted to have a diagram or a picture to show 3 1/2. So you have 4 rectangles that are all cut in 1/2. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 1/2. But then if you wanted to go back and count this as an improper fraction, you could count the halves. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 halves. Okay? Same thing on this side, except it's with fifths. You have 3 rectangles cut into 5 pieces. So for 2 and 3/5 would be 2 of these whole rectangles and then 3 pieces out of 5. So if you were going to write this as an improper fraction, how would you write that? So you count the pieces here, so that's 5 pieces there. So 5.
10.
And then how many?
13.
So 13 what?
Fifths.
13 fifths. So 2 and 3/5 is also written as 13 fifths.
What is that piece for?
Because I didn't draw exactly to scale. That's why it's a little smaller. So, for these, I have some sets of fractions, and I want you to circle the larger ones, or tell me which ones are the larger ones, okay? So, out of 1/2 and 3/8, which one is bigger?
1/2.
Why?
Because 3/8 is smaller than 1/2.
How many eighths is equal to 1/2?
4.
4/8 is equal to 1/2, and 3/8 is less than 4/8. Alright, so then this one, which is bigger, 8/2 or 15/16?
8/2.
Why?
Because that's 4. And that's not even a whole one.
Okay, so this is an improper fraction, right?
Yeah.
Which is more than a whole, and this is 15/6, which is not a whole.
Yeah.
Okay? So then 9/3 or 2 3/4. Which one's bigger?
9/3.
Okay, why is that?
Because it's 3.
Alright, 9/3 is equal to 3, which is larger than 2 3/4. Alright, so then, if I were to give you, let's say, this mixed number, I'll write it on this half for you. So, 4 and 1/4, how would you write that as an improper fraction?
17/4.
Okay, how did you get your answer?
Because there's 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 17.
4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 17/4. So then if I were to give you the improper fraction of, let's say, 11/3, how would you write that as a mixed number?
3 2/3.
Right, so you have 3 2/3. How did you get your answer on that?
You divide 11 by 3.
Yep, and you get 3, and then you had how many thirds left over?
2.
Right, 2/3. Alright, very nicely done. Do you have any more questions as far as fractions, improper fractions, or mixed numbers?
No.
Okay. You can eat your orange now. Thank you.